Hi guys, so today we are looking at surface areas of cylinders. So if we've got a closed cylinder that looks like this, think of like a Pringles can or something, it's made up of two circles and a rectangle. So you can see the net is these two circles joined by this rectangle. Imagine that it all kinds of folds up together. Now remember, surface area is when we find the area of all the shapes. So for this one, we're going to just have to find the area of two circles and a rectangle. Now the two circles, each of them are pi r squared. And then for this area of the rectangle, this length here is actually the part that wraps around the circle. So that has a length the same as the circumference of a circle. Now remember, the circumference is pi times d. Remember our little song, or remember, because the diameter is 2 radiuses, we can go 2 pi r as well. It's the same. And then this here is called the height, h. So that's this part of our cylinder, and then that's the outside the rectangle part. So we can have our surface area is given by 2 times pi r squared, because we've got two circles, plus the area of the rectangle, which is pi d times h for height. Okay, so try not to stick to this as a formula, but try and think of, well, I've got two circles and a rectangle, so I need the area of two circles and a rectangle. Will help you remember it much easier than that. So we've got two examples. First one is find the surface area of a cylinder with a diameter of 12 centimeters and a height of 20. So this example didn't have the picture drawn for you. However, I've done it up quickly just to show you. So we've got a cylinder, the diameter, okay, is across the center, which is 12, and then the height is 20. So for our surface area, we're going to need the area of the two circles and the rectangle. Now, for the area of our rectangle, that length that wraps around the circle is given, remember, by the circumference. So to find the circumference, it was pi times the diameter, and our diameter of our circle is 12. Oops, I'll just write it straight in. So that's 12 pi. So then our surface area, we need two circles plus the rectangle. So we've got two lots of pi r squared, where we've got pi times the radius is going to be 6, because a half of 12 is 6, plus our rectangle. So remember, our length of that rectangle is going to be the circumference, which is 12 pi, times the height, which is 20. Because we want it in exact, this means we need to keep the pi symbols there. So the way that we do it is wherever there's numbers, we just work out that answer. So this is going to be 2 times, well, 6 squared is 36. So that's going to be 36 pi. Okay, just remember that that is the same as 12 times pi, which is why this is the same as 36 pi. So it's all of that plus 12 times 20, which is 240. So 240 pi. Simplifying it again, so we've got two lots of 36 pi, which means it's 72 pi plus 240 pi. So you actually treat the pi symbol like it's just an x. Okay? And then if we've got 72 pi plus 240 pi, that's equal to 312 pi centimeters squared. Okay? If it wanted it as an like to two decimal places, in each section where there's pi, you literally just press the pi button on your calculator. Okay, question 2. Find correct to two decimal places the surface area of an open half cylinder with radius 0.5 meter and height 3 meters. So an open half cylinder, here we've got a half cylinder. Open just means that that lid is missing. So if it was closed, you would have to work out the surface area of the half circles, the round part, as well as the closed rectangle. but because it's open, you only need the surface area, you only need the area of the semicircles on each side, plus the round bit that kind of goes underneath, which is what I've drawn for you here. So, for our circumference this time, we only want, it's not a full circle, right? Like that length is half. So for the circumference, it's a half of the pi times the diameter. So it's a half of pi times, now the diameter of this circle has to be 2, like the radius is, the diameter is 2 lots of the radius. Because only from there to there is 0.5, that whole thing has to be 2 lots of 0.5, because that's 0.5, that's 0.5, which means that is 1. Okay, so, and that's because the radius is 0.5. And altogether, if you multiply them together, so a half times pi times 1, we'll keep it as exact until the very end, so there's no rounding issues. That leaves us with a half of pi. Because you just multiply the numbers, right? Like a half times 1, well, half of 1 is a half, and then times by pi. So this time for our surface area, we've got 2 lots of the half circles plus the rectangle. So we've got 2, I might just move that over because I'll run out of room. 2 lots of the half, like 2 lots of half circles. So a half, or like if you want, you can just do the area of a whole circle because it's 2 halves, but it doesn't matter. A half times pi r squared, where our radius is 0.5 squared, plus the area of our rectangle. Well, this circumference length is the half pi, so that is going to give us that length there. And then we want to times it by 3. So it's going to be a half pi times by 3. And you can literally put that, because we're going to 2 decimal places, you just put all of that into your calculator using pi. And make sure you got your brackets, it's really helpful. And you get 5.4977. And because we're going to 2 decimal places, it becomes 5.50 centimeters squared. Practice by putting that into your calculator and see if you get this decimal, because you're going to have to do that a lot in the questions. Alrighty, good luck.